At the far turn and into the stretch. Well, that saying could relate to um, Golden Gate Fields as closing date is approaching soon. And it's becoming evident that the finale is coming. Um, and how do I know it's coming? It has to do with the Golden Hour Pick 4. I was hoping during this last racing season at Golden Gate Fields, I would have more opportunity to bet the Golden Hour Pick 4. But lately, in around April, and then even in the day before the Kentucky Derby on the Friday, Golden Gate Fields had to cancel their race card. So it is evident, and I was hoping 11th hour would happen, but I'm going to make the most of it and continue betting the Golden Hour Pick 4 all the way up to at least to the Belmont Stakes. Um, so today, this on the weekend of the Preakness Stakes, Golden Gate Fields did not race today on Friday. It'll race on has a race card Saturday, and it will not be racing Sunday, according to Equibase. Because I looked in the app and there was no entries for Sunday's racing at Golden Gate Field. So I'm going to make the most of it the best I can, as this is the only Golden Hour pick for this weekend. The Golden Hour pick four is a special type of pick four. It's the last two races at Santa Anita and Golden Gate Fields. So usually, as I stated before in this videos I post, I have a budget usually between $81 to 108. That's not a lot. So because I don't want to bet so much that I end up betting more than I won. But um, in the 2 weeks ago in the Kentucky Derby, the Golden Hour pick four ended up being over $4,000. Um, I put it on my thumbnail of this video. So as I sort of assumed 2 weeks ago when Golden Gate Fields did not race the Friday before the Derby, that there would be a bigger field the following day, and the payout ended up being bigger. 2 weeks ago, it rained a lot during the day for the Kentucky Derby at Golden Gate Fields. It appears to be going to be much more drier tomorrow. So here we go for the as all the way up to the Belmont Stakes. And today, before the Preakness, I'm gonna give my uh, the bets, the horse I'm gonna pick in each leg for the Golden Hour Pick Four. In the Golden Hour Pick Four, the first leg is actually race 9 in Santa Anita. Um, so there are three horses I'm going to bet. The first one is the number one horse, the Medici. Uh, Sorry about the arrow if you can't read the daily racing form, but this horse won its last race and had a 90 Beyer speed figures. So I believe this horse had the highest speed figures in this race. So he's one of the first three horses that I plan to bet on the first leg of the Golden Hour Pick Four. There were two other horses I had to pick uh, regarding my second pick for the first leg, and they're actually both by Into Mischief, um, who's the leading sire in this country. I thought about Dual Threat because, according to the Daily Racing Forum, this was one of the picks, at least finishing in the top three. So I thought about it. But I've noticed there's a trend. This horse is currently trained by Hess. However, it's been transferred in and out of Hess multiple times. So I don't think this really helps the horse because there's no familiarity. So I don't know what's going on. Also, the trainers don't know what's going on, and maybe the owner. So even though I thought about it, he seemed enticing, maybe at 6 to 1. However, I decided to go to another Into Mischief horse, and that's Michelov. If I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this name. And this horse here is 6 to 1 morning line odds. It's it's a Chilean bred, um, but it has ran in the states. So this is actually going to be the second horse that I'm going to pick in the first leg of the Golden Hour Pick Four. The third is most likely the favorite Vegas Burner, who's 5 to 2 more lines and has run 4-7 Sandia starts in the money. Sometimes people they bet based off the pedigree, in which I do. There's others who like to look at the number of a horse or sometimes the name. And I will be honest, the name kind of enticed me. And that's because of this week, because of the closure of uh, the Mirage in Vegas. So, like Golden Gate Field's closing, the Mirage is closing too. So, um, that's one of the reasons. That's a reason why I picked this horse, Vegas Burner. Who knows? Um, maybe if I hit big in the Golden Hour Pick Four, I might use some of the winnings to go to the Mirage before one last time. I've never been to Mirage. I've been to Vegas multiple times, but not stayed at the Mirage. But yeah, so that's why I'm picking Vegas Burner. So those are the three horses I'm going to pick in the first leg of the Golden Hour Pick Four. The second leg of the Golden Hour Pick Four is race 7 at Golden Gate Fields. In this case, I'm going to, as with the first leg, I'm only going to pick three horses. And if you, there's a lot of notes I made on certain horses, so I kept on going back and forth. Um, and primarily, you'll see number 3 and 4. I kept on going back and forth to who to choose. I didn't pick both, so it was these two horses were actually my last choice in the Golden Hour Pick Four. So I had to think about either was it going to be Ecologist or Contrary Chieftain. Ecologist won its last two races at the Golden Gate Fields on Tapeta. This race is a mile and 3/8 on the turf. According to Daily Racing Form, this horse actually has ran fourth, I believe, and the mile 3/8 at Golden Gate Field sometime last year. So I thought about uh, with his form, and sometimes synthetic horses they do well on turf. But I thought about it. But if these last two races run on turf, I would pick him. And at 4-1, I'm not sure. At 4-1 seemed pretty good odds. But like I said, if he had ran on turf the last two races, I would pick him. So I decided to go with Contrary Chieftain, and one of the reasons is because of his breeder and owner, Victory Rose Thoroughbred. Victory Rose Thoroughbred is a Northern California thoroughbred farm in the wine country, and with the closure of Golden Gate Fields, um, horse farms as like Victory Rose Thoroughbred is going to be felt a lot. In fact, one of the Golden Hour Pick Fours, one of the breeder was in past Golden Hour Pick Fours. I didn't pick a horse who was owned and bred by Victory Rose. That horse ended up winning, and it cost me some money. So the other time I picked another horse that was bred or owned by Victory Rose, and then didn't even finish first. But I decided to pick this horse because at odds of 8-1, I said, F it, this is gambling right now. If this was 20-1, I probably would say no, but 8-1, pretty solid odds. And yeah, so I think Golden Hour Pick Four, this an 8-1. What I've noticed from the past is when I've won Golden Hour Pick Fours that are over $1,000 in payout, it's because it usually takes one horse, like a long shot, and an 8-1. I'm hoping that the Contrary Chieftain could finish first in the second leg. So that's why I'm picking him over Ecologist. The other horse I'm going to pick is Honest Man, who's actually going to be the favorite. And based on the form, there's a reason why he's a favorite. It's not only his form; it's also his pedigree. Fleet Alex won the Preakness and Belmont Stakes. So in this, and even though, and as this race is, I believe, a mile and 3/8 on turf, Fleet Alex won the mile and a half Belmont Stakes. So based off not just of form but also pedigree, there's a reason why Honest Man is the favorite of this race. And I've noted here at the very bottom, 4 of 5 Golden Gate Fields turf. This horse has been in the money. The third horse I'm going to bet is number 7, Heat and Reheat. He's very consistent. He actually won his last race, but if you look at his last several races, I bracketed it. They've been consistently in the 70 buyer speed figures, so that's why. And he's run pretty well in Golden Gate Fields. In the Golden Gate Fields turf, he's ran 4 times and twice in the money. So with his consistency, he's the reason why he's the third horse I'm putting in my second leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4. The third leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4 is race 10 in Santa Anita. In any Pick 4 races, okay, what I've noticed is when I do really bad, it's either the first race. Uh, and when I do really bad in the first race, like none of the horses that I pick come in first, my ticket is all shot. However, another side of the goal of a pick four is the times I don't win it. I would say 95% of the time, if I don't win the golden hour pick four, it's because of the third leg. So in this case, instead of picking 3 horses in this third leg, I'm picking 4. And actually, this race was really hard to handicap, hence why I picked 4. It's a maiden race, so it's really hard to handicap horses that have never won before. And if they run close to like 10 times, you have to consider like how good is this horse, because if it's run 10 times and it hasn't broke its maiden, you don't know how good this horse can really run. So that's why for this maiden race on this third leg of the Golden Hour pick 4, I'm picking 4. So the first I'm picking is the number 2 horse, Ms. Club Cali, and it has run twice, and it's a pretty good sign that in this only 2 runs that the second time that it ran, it got second place. So that's why I'm picking number 2, Ms. Club Cali. The other horse I'm going to pick is number 3, Ashley's Sandcastle. I know I ranted it off saying that there are certain horses in the main race, if they ran 10 times or more and haven't won, you have to question their performance. But if you look at this horse's performance, it has been running like third most of the time, and I think it has ran second a couple times. So this horse is just for some reason hasn't been getting to finishing first. So, but yet it's always been finishing, let's say, second or third. So that's why this is my second horse, picking the third leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4. The third horse I'm picking in the third leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4 is Run a Mile in My Shoes, and this is really based on he is the favorite, I believe, but the reason I'm picking this horse is based off the pedigree. Into Mischief is a great stallion. He's been leading sire for 5 years in a row, a feat that's unprecedented. But he's the broodmare sire of this horse. And the reason I'm picking this horse is because I think Into Mischief, as a 5-time leading sire, can be a leading sire in the future, as I noted. So, with the form of this horse, who's ran 5 times, but has been in the money all 5 times, and with Into Mischief as a potential hot broodmare sire, he's the reason why I'm picking, or she's the reason I'm picking this horse at the third leg of this Golden Hour Pick 4. And the last horse I'm picking, the fourth horse I'm picking in the Golden Hour Pick 4, which is a race for fillies, is number 11, Warren's Paradise. As I noted with the other horse who's ran 10 times, this horse actually has finished in the money about almost half the time. So yeah, even though it hasn't won in 11 tries, it has finished about 6 of them in the money. But it's only finished second once. So it's mostly a horse that finishes third. But with the other forms of the other horses, I couldn't pick another horse over it. So that's why I'm picking Warren's Paradise as my the fourth horse in this third leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4. The last leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4 is race 8 at Golden Gate Fields, and if you notice, it's going to be a very late race. Estimated post time is 6:24 Pacific Standard Time. So as with the first and third leg, this last leg I'm only going to pick 3 horses, and as with the last leg, the third leg at Santa Anita, this leg at Golden Gate Field is a maiden race, so it's going to be kind of difficult to pick horses who have never won before. And I think picking horses who's never won before a maiden race shows a sign of a good handicapper, because you really have to delve into a lot of variables. So, um, so here are the horses. Here are the three horses I'm going to pick. Number one is Steve's Big Ticket. Actually, Steve's Big Ticket was the last of the third horse I was going to pick in the Golden Hour Pick Four. It was going to be between number one, Steve's Big Ticket, or number 10, Tiger Sun. And I thought about Tiger Sun because of its first race, ran fourth with this 40 speed by figure. But this horse is going to be on the outside and in its second race. So as this is a 5.5 furlong, I'm not comfortable picking a horse who's at the very outside post running its second race. Hence why I'm picking the number one horse, Steve's Big Ticket. Um, so he's the one of the three horses I'm picking in this last leg. The other two are the favorites. Cornejo Malo is another horse. Is the second horse I'm planning to pick. It's ran 5 times and it's finished money twice of those times. And and when it comes to racing, I like to look at pedigree. Um, so I look at this, even though this is not a stakes race, this horse grandsire is Tappet. Prior to around 2010, or yeah, around 2010 and 2020, it was Tappet who was the hot sire, and then Into Mischief came along and overtook him. But Tappet is from the is a son of Pulpit, who's a son of AP Indy. So that's why I picked Koheo Maho to, and also the form too, as I mentioned. Um, it's ran 5 times. It's finished twice in the money. So at 72 odds, I didn't want to miss out on a on a horse that could potentially finish first. And last, in my third leg, is the Gato de Vegas, the number 8. And as with the other horse, um, Santa Anita, I did pick him because of the name. Um, so, like I said, with the Mirage closing on July 17, and with the form is kind of puzzling. I have to admit. It's ran fourth the first time and then ran seventh, even though ran seventh had a higher buyer speed figures. But yeah, as I said, since Golden Gate is closing, there's no time to like play it safe. And if I'm going to pick on a horse, especially with the name of God with Vegas, and with the Mirage closing, and this is gambling, I'm going to pick that horse. So there it goes. That's the last leg. 3 horses in the Golden Hour Pick Four. So with a um, $1 wager on the Golden Hour Pick Four, the total amount for the Golden Hour Pick Four is $108. So that's not a lot, but there's a potential that you could win big. Most of the Golden Hour Pick Four, majority of the times, I bet only $81. But because of Golden Gate Field's closing and the fact they're canceling racing cards, I'm gonna try to bet a little bit more. Um, but yeah, so as I mentioned on my thumbnail of this video, on Derby Day, the Golden Hour Pick Four was $4,000, and I expect that to happen. And with the weather dry Golden Gate Field, um, I do think it's going to be almost that amount, the winning, depending on who comes in. But yeah, so that's it. I know, kind of laboring right now because this video is almost 20 minutes, but yeah, like I said, with Golden Gate Fields closing and with the Mirage closing, I wanted to take my time and for the Golden Hour Pick Four on Preakness Day. So whether you're at Golden Gate Fields or other racetracks, you have the opportunity to bet the Golden Hour Pick Four, do it, because when Golden Gate Fields closes, I don't know, I don't see it coming through another racetrack in partnership with Santa Anita. So I like to leave off as the saying goes, and it represents my Golden Hour Pick Four for this bet. You bet small to win big.